My name's Chuck Iovan. I'll be presiding over this evening's Planning Board meeting, Wednesday, March 8th, 2019. First order of business is we're going to do a roll call, starting with Jim Chiavelli. We will do that in a moment. Actually, I want to read something first. For those in attendance, under the provisions of the open meeting law, attendees are informed that this meeting is being recorded by MATV. I have not been notified that any other video or audio recording of this meeting will occur. So just reminding folks that we will be recorded by MATV. The next thing we'll do, if we can, is the roll call. Start with Jim Chiavelli.
Jim Chiavelli, Planning Board.
Tawadaj Gabrasillace, Planning Board.
Patrick Fitzgerald, Planning Board.
Diane Shuha, Planning Board.
Ken Antonucci, Planning Board.
Chuck Iovan, Planning Board.
Michelle Romero, City Planner.
Eric McCush, Planning Board.
Pat Hayes, Planning Board.
Eric Henry, Planning Board.
Henry Susi, Planning Board.
Thank you very much. Ken, could you read the notice for the first public hearing, a public meeting, 100 Hospital Road and 57 Hospital Road?
The Malden Planning Board will hold a public meeting in the auditorium on the first floor of the John and Christina Markey Malden Senior Community Center, 7 Washington Street, Malden, Mass. At 7 p.m. on Wednesday, May 8th, 2019, regarding 2 applications of Melrose Wakefield Healthcare, Inc., formerly known as Hallmark Health Systems, Inc., made under the rules and regulations of the Malden Planning Board governing the subdivision of land in Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 81S, for tentative approval of preliminary plan, namely, 1 application to subdivide approximately 9.6 acres, approximately 417,470 square feet, of currently developed land to create 5 new parcels, 1 new roadway off Murray Hill Road and 1 new roadway off Hospital Road at the property known as and numbered 100 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass., and also known by City of Malden Assessors Parcel Identification Number 025-104-401. Application Permanent Number CMID 029159-2019, and 1 application to subdivide approximately 5 acres, approximately 218,095 square feet, of currently developed land to create 5 new parcels and 2 new roadways off Hospital Road at the property known as and numbered 57 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass., and also known by City of Malden Assessors Parcel Identification Number 025-105-501, Application Permit Number CMID 02158-2019.
Thank you very much, Ken. Michelle, can you give us an update of where we are?
Yes. What's before you tonight, or as the notice that Ken just read, are 2 applications for tentative approval of a preliminary plan. You do have copies of those, the actual applications, in your package. For your consideration of these, you are going to review and make your decision at a public meeting. So this is not a public hearing. A public hearing is not required. So there was no notice to abutters. There was no publication required. We did post the notice with the city clerk. We will not receive any public testimony. You can and will receive comments from other city departments. A couple more procedural points. The deadline for a decision is May 26, 2019. That's 45 days after filing. You're reviewing this under the subdivision control law as well as the planning board's rules and regulations governing subdivision of land. The state subdivision control law is in Mass General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 81S. The decision may not be appealed, and repetitive and or multiple applications for the same land may be filed. This may appear somewhat familiar to you. The subject property has been before you on March 13, 2017, September 13, 2017, March 14, 2018, and October 10, 2018. This board disapproved similar applications for tentative approval of a preliminary plan and/or nearly identical plans by the same applicant. The applicant is the current owner, Melrose Wakefield Healthcare, Inc., formerly known as Hallmark Health Systems, Inc. For each of the following properties, applicant filed the application for tentative approval of a preliminary plan. Again, you have a copy of that. It's called Form B. They also filed plans dated February 14th, 2019, that were signed and stamped February 19th, 2019, prepared by Sandra A. Brock, P.E. of Nish Engineering, Boston, Mass. Hereinafter, we'll refer to them as the plans collectively. The plans, for the record, are entitled Preliminary Subdivision Plan West Subdivision, 100 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass. That's sheet C1. Preliminary Grading and Drainage Plan, West Subdivision, 100 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass. That's sheet C2. Preliminary Plan of Subdivision, East Subdivision, 57 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass. Sheet C1. Preliminary Grading and Drainage Plan, East Subdivision, 57 Hospital Road, Malden, Mass. Sheet C2. So just to orient yourselves, on Hospital Road, on the left is the western side, that's West Subdivision, that's 100 Hospital Road. On the right, coming up Murray Hill Road, on the right would be the east, what's known as East Subdivision. So 100 Hospital Road is currently the site of the vacant building that was formerly used as Malden Hospital, 6 stories, approximately 299,403 square feet of gross floor area and various paved parking lots. That's also known by 100 Hospital Road, I believe I said that. It's also known by Assessor's Parcel ID 025104-401. And that has approximately 417,470 square feet of land area, which is approximately 9.6 acres. That's about 55% of the total site. You also have 57 Hospital Road, which is also known as Assessor's Parcel ID 025105-501. That is currently the site of 2 vacant buildings. One is formerly used as the hospital powerhouse that has 2 stories and 15,426 square feet of gross floor area, and one building formerly used for the nursing school that has 3 stories and 18,300 square feet of gross floor area. That parcel is 218,095 square feet of land area. It's approximately 5 acres. That makes up approximately 28% of the site. There's also a portion of 100 Hospital Road that is located in Medford. That's the western portion of that parcel. That contains approximately 130,036 square feet, approximately 3 acres, which is about 17%. So the total for Malden in land area is 635,565, which is about 14.6 acres, 83% of the site. The total in Medford is the total I just read, which is about 3 acres, 17% of the site. What's shown on the plan is Malden and Medford land. So the plan covers, and the applications cover 100% of the site. You're reviewing it under the Malden subdivision rules and regs, as I said, as well as the state subdivision control law. So combined, the site is approximately 17.6 acres, 765,601 square feet. Another procedural point I want to point out is the waiver of the zoning freeze that was filed with these applications. The applicant filed a notice of waiver of preliminary subdivision plan under Mass General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 6. You have a copy of that waiver as well. These notices were recorded at the Registry of Deeds. They indicate the applicant has waived rights that vested with the most recent applications for the land shown on the plan. Those are the applications filed August 29, 2018, and disapproved October 10, 2018. I'll just briefly mention the statutory zoning freeze provides that for land shown on the plan, the submission of a preliminary plan freezes the zoning in effect at the time of submittal for 8 years, provided that a definitive plan or amendment thereof is submitted and approved within 7 months. That's in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 6. So the petitioner has waived that particular zoning freeze that was applicable to the last application. So the rights vest now with the filing of this application. So they waived the old rights, or the rights with the former plan, I should say. Collectively, as I refer to the subject property, it includes both parcels. Each, again, there's two separate applications. One is 57, one is 100. I've just described what the parcels include. This planning report and recommendation will be incorporated by reference into the planning board's record and decision. I will also note in July of 2017, the applicant did initiate the scoping process for a traffic impact and access study for definitive plan of subdivision that was intended to be filed. The applicant did not complete the process and did not file the definitive plan. So far, we have seen preliminary plans of subdivision, applications for tentative approval of preliminary plans, and those are the dates that I listed previously. So we'll go through right now. If anybody has any questions, I'll stop. If not, we'll go through and, for the record, describe what was depicted on the plans.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, Michelle, if you could move
Okay.
forward.
So for 100 Hospital Road, so again, this is known as West Subdivision. So that's, again, when you're looking at the plan, it is the top portion of Hospital Road. If you're orienting yourself there, it's actually the western side of Hospital Road. If anybody needs some people didn't get full-size copies. If anybody needs them, I have them here. So the proposed subdivision, so there's two parcels. We'll talk about 100 Hospital Road first. The proposed subdivision creates 5 new parcels and 2 roadways, one off Murray Hill Road, proposed to be known as Rose Street, and one off Hospital Road, proposed to be known as Amber Street. Proposed Lot 1. So we're looking at the existing parcel has 547,506 square feet. The proposal is to subdivide it into these 5 lots and new roadways. So the first lot, which is called Lot 1 on the plan, it contains land in Malden and Medford. The total lot area is 496,329 square feet. In Malden, there's 366,293 square feet. In Medford, there's 130,036 square feet. That particular lot has existing frontage on Girard Road, 191.92 feet of frontage, 865.82 feet of frontage on Hospital Road, 275.96 feet of frontage on Savin Street, 40.49 feet of frontage on Murray Hill Road, Malden, 75.84 feet of frontage on Murray Hill Road in Medford, and 942.11 feet of frontage on Grover Road in Medford. That lot also is proposed to have new frontage on Amber Street, 106.21 feet. I will note that Girard Road and Grover Road, so when I reference them in here, are in Medford, and they are labeled, or I'm sorry, Girard Road and Grover Road are labeled private. They may not qualify as frontage. Unless otherwise indicated, the roadway is in Malden, so Grover Road is in Medford. Also, I'm referring to these as frontage. However, if these lengths are not continuous and contiguous lengths along the lot, they may not qualify as frontage under our definition of the zoning. So that lot, for ease of reference, is the main hospital lot. That's where the main hospital building, or the building formerly used as the hospital, is. Lot 2 contains 8,751 square feet. It has existing frontage on Murray Hill Road in Malden, 94.74 feet of frontage. It's proposed to have 73.1 feet of frontage on the proposed new roadway, Rose Street. Lot 3 has 8,751 square feet. There is no existing frontage, and it's proposed to have 57.32 feet of frontage on Rose Street. Lot 4, 8,751 square feet, has no existing frontage. It is proposed to have 52.97 feet of frontage on Amber Street. And then Lot 5 is proposed to have 11,982 square feet of lot area. It currently has 62.64 feet of frontage along Murray Hill Road and 117.88 feet of frontage along Hospital Road. It's proposed to have 116.89 feet of frontage on Rose Street, and 99.64 feet of frontage on Amber Street. New roadways will take up approximately 12,941 square feet of lot area. They don't have any existing frontage because they don't exist. Proposed new frontage on Rose Street is 247.31 feet, and on Amber Street is 258.82 feet. So that is that. Proposed lots 2, 3, 4, and 5 on 100 Hospital Road. The plan, West Subdivision, 100 Hospital Road, do have the minimum required lot area for single-family dwelling under the current zoning, which is 8,750 square feet, given that it's a subdivision of 3 or more. That's in accordance with our zoning. Now, moving on to 57 Hospital Road, and again, that's the site of the powerhouse or power station, and also the building formerly used as the nursing school. So that's known as East Subdivision on the plans. That proposed subdivision creates 5 new parcels and 2 new roadways off Hospital Road to be known as Cobalt Street and Coral Street. Proposed Lot 1 is actually labeled Parcel 1. It contains 4,237 square feet. It is labeled not buildable. It does not have the minimum required lot area for a single-family dwelling. It has existing frontage of 12.30 feet on Hospital Road and proposed new frontage of 101.64 feet on Cobalt Street and 125.34 feet on Coral Street. Lot 2 is proposed to contain 8,751 square feet. It currently has frontage on Hospital Road, 106.12 feet of frontage, and it's proposed to have 68.72 feet of frontage on Coral Street. Lot 3, 8,751 square feet, has no existing frontage. It's proposed to have 65.76 feet of frontage on Coral Street. Lot 4 is proposed to have 8,751 square feet, has no existing frontage. Is proposed to have 84.32 feet of frontage on Cobalt Street. Then you have Lot 5, 171,033 square feet of lot area. That currently has frontage on Murray Hill Road in Malden, 149.3 feet. On West Border Road, 897.35 feet. And on Hospital Road, 685.24 feet. It is also proposed to have frontage on Cobalt Street, 92.94 feet, and on Coral Street, 75.02 feet. New roadways on this side of, on this particular subdivision plan take up approximately 16,572 square feet. There is no existing frontage, they don't exist. The 2 new roadways will provide approximately 278.9 feet of frontage on Cobalt Street and 334.82 feet of frontage on Coral Street. So that side, 57 Hospital Road, has an existing, that existing parcel has a total of 218,095 square feet, and the subdivision that I just described is how they're proposing to subdivide. Proposed lots 2, 3, and 4 have the minimum required lot area for single-family dwellings under the current zoning. Again, that is 8,750 square feet per our zoning ordinance. I will note the plans depict the same subdivision as the most recent previous preliminary plan that this board disapproved on October 10, 2018, except there are minor differences in locations and dimensions of lot lines and frontage for both lots 4. So on 57 and 100 Hospital Road, lot 4 is where there is some, the lot size is the same, but there are some changes in lot lines and frontage. As I mentioned before, the roadway is in Malden unless otherwise indicated. Private roadways may not qualify as frontage, and the length does not qualify as frontage if it's not continuous and contiguous, per our zoning ordinance. Anybody have any questions about the 2 parcels or how they're being proposed to be subdivided? Everyone's following on the plans, everything? Okay. So I'll review the aggregate features and characteristics of the subject property. So in addition to the existing buildings, the subject property contains undeveloped areas with large outcroppings of ledge, woods, and dense vegetation. It's characterized by steep topography and severe grade changes ranging from 100 feet to 150 feet and 80 feet to 125 feet. The physical character of the subject property creates development constraints and concerns that affect the feasibility of residential development. due to the substantial alterations to grade that will be required and the amount and location of ledge that must be removed to provide safe access and utilities. Site development will require petitions seeking various relief under the city zoning ordinances, including special permits to alter the grade and remove ledge, and variances of dimensional controls and parking requirements, such as grades of yard areas, parking areas, and heights of retaining walls. You are, again, reviewing this under subdivision control law, but I'm mentioning some of the potential and likely concerns development of the property will present under our zoning ordinance. So you're reviewing this, as I said, under the city's subdivision rules and regulations. What I've done is highlighted some of the design standards of those regulations for you, in where the proposed subdivision and roadways comply or don't comply. So in terms of design standards, you look at streets, and there are general standards for streets regarding connection to a public way. The plans depict one proposed street system will connect directly to Murray Hill Road and Hospital Road. One proposed street system will connect to Hospital Road, which may be accessed by Murray Hill Road or Savin Street. The standard in your rules and regulations contained in section 5A1A is that the street system of the subdivision must be connected at least one point with a public way or an existing private way, having, in the opinion of the planning board, sufficient width, suitable grades, and adequate construction for the needs of vehicular traffic. The grade of Murray Hill Road is 12.5%, which grossly exceeds the standards provided by your rules and regulations contained in section 5A3A, and it exceeds the 10% grade requirement for adequate access of emergency vehicles and operation of fire apparatus. That's described in 527 CMR 18.2.3.4.6.1-18.2.3.4.6.3, the Massachusetts Comprehensive Fire Safety Code. The Malden Fire Department has a major concern regarding this. This roadway does not have suitable grades and adequate construction for the needs of vehicular traffic, which could potentially use the land subdivided under the plans. You also have design standards for streets regarding the proposed future street system. So the plans depict that the proposed subdivisions would create a total of 7 single-family dwelling-sized lots and 4 roadways. The proposed new roadways, Rose Street, Amber Street, Cobalt Street, and Coral Street, are 55 feet in width, with sidewalks on both sides. These streets may be classified as Class C, given inadequate water pressure, or Class D, given the steep and rocky character of the land. These streets serve land that may be tentatively or permanently designated for low-density residential use. That's in accordance with your rules and regulations, section 5A1E3. So the new roadways, and there are 4, which total approximately 29,513 square feet, and the dwelling lots, 7 lots, which we previously described, total 64,488 square feet, comprise only a small fraction of the southern portion of the subject property. Specifically, the roadways and dwelling lots shown on the plans comprise 94,001 square feet, or 12% of the total square footage. The total square footage is 765,601 square feet. So that's approximately 9% of 100 Hospital Road, or 51,176 square feet, or 20% of 57 Hospital Road, 42,825 square feet. So you do have rules and regulations in section 5A1B that state where the subdivision submitted covers only part of the applicant's land, a sketch of the proposed future street system of the unsubmitted part shall be furnished, and the street system of the part submitted will be considered in the light of the proposals for the part not submitted. So the plans are showing only, as I said, 12% of the total. There is no proposed future street system for the great majority of the subject property, 88% of it. You also have design standards regarding adequacy of access via existing adjacent streets. You have standards regarding safety. The plans depict primary access to the proposed subdivision is via Murray Hill Road, which is existing but inadequately constructed due to grade. The grade of Murray Hill Road is 12.5%. So you have rules and regulations in section 5G1 that state, in order to ensure vehicular and pedestrian safety and access, the board will consider the adequacy of streets and ways adjacent to or providing access to a proposed subdivision. It is the board's intent that a proposed subdivision does not overly strain the capacity of existing or planned streets and ways so as to result in traffic congestion and safety problems or otherwise interfere with access. The grade of the primary access to the proposed subdivisions is Murray Hill Road. Its grade, 12.5%, exceeds the 10% requirement for adequate access of emergency vehicles and operation of fire apparatus, which I already referenced, the 527 CMR 18.2 subsections of the Massachusetts Comprehensive Fire Safety Code. Again, the Malden Fire Department has a major concern regarding this. The ways serving the proposed subdivisions are inadequate due to grade, which affects adequacy of emergency response, and no improvements are proposed to ensure safe and adequate access and travel. And then finally, your rules and regulations contain standards regarding fire safety. Specifically, you also have rules and regulations regarding street elevations and water service. The Malden Fire Department has a major concern that there is insufficient water to conduct firefighting operations at the proposed subdivisions. Your rules and regulations, section 5A2C3, state the planning board, in its opinion, must be given satisfactory assurance that the subdivision will be provided with adequate water service for all reasonable purpose. You also have standards for streets and utilities regarding the water system. Again, the Malden Fire Department has a major concern that there's insufficient water supply to conduct firefighting operations at the proposed subdivisions. You have rules and regulations in section 6B4B that state the water system must be of adequate capacity. Does anybody have any questions about any of those design standards or your rules and regulations? This is a sampling of the major standards and a review of the plan with respect to those.
No questions? Okay, Michelle, move on.
So finally, I want to note current conditions of the property. There are outstanding public safety concerns and health hazards. Regarding 100 Hospital Road, you have correspondence dated July 27, 2018 from the Malden Fire Department regarding black mold problems inside the building. Because of this hazardous condition, the fire department members will not enter the building while conducting a fire detail. This order is currently still in effect. It was confirmed by email dated May 6, 2019. We'll read that into the record. The current conditions of the subject property present health hazards for the fire department members and create public safety concerns. So, the proposed subdivisions create 7 residential house lots immediately adjacent to and or in close proximity to the existing building on the property that are the subject of these hazards and concerns. So, as I stated, you have review, I will requested review by Board of Health and other city departments. We didn't receive any comments from the Board of Health. We did receive comments from the city engineer, which came in after this report was written. They actually came from the city engineer, Yem Lip, city engineer, and Robert Knox, DPW director. They're dated May 8th, 2019, regarding revised Hospital Road subdivisions preliminary plans, dated February 19th, 2019, review comments. It reads, engineering and Department of Public Works have reviewed the above preliminary plans and offer the same comments as the previous submission. 1, proponent shall provide adequate water supply for domestic and fire protection. Engineering recommends service connections off of existing MWRA water main on Hospital Road. 2, proponent shall provide gravity sewer to all lots. Should a sewer pump system be required, an individual grinder pump system for each lot shall be proposed. 3, provide 2 perk tests of existing subsoil layers to verify underground chamber design and detention basin. The proponent shall arrange with the city engineer for scheduling of initial inspection of on-site soil investigation and testing. Provide stormwater design, including operation and maintenance manual for detention pond underground drainage chamber. 4, lot number 5 of 100 Hospital Road Drive subdivision shall include deed restriction to ensure maintenance of detention basin and drainage pipes. Cost of maintenance and cost of drainage system replacement in the future shall be responsibility of homeowner and/or Rose Street Association. 5, Coral Street underground drainage chamber shall be located off-site and not within public right-of-way. It is recommended that Coral Street be a private street otherwise. 6, proposed roads shall be no more than 10% grade. 7, this is not a complete review due to lack of existing survey plans, lack of subsoil information, lack of stormwater design reports, and lack of future plan of the existing hospital site. If you have any questions on the above comments or would like to discuss further, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. And we also received comments from the fire department. So you have a letter dated May 6, 2019. It's to the Malden Planning Board. It's regarding Hospital Road subdivision. It reads, the Malden Fire Department has 2 major concerns regarding the proposed Hospital Road subdivision. 1, grade requirement of no more than 10% are required for adequate access of emergency vehicles and operation of fire apparatus. 527 CMR 18.2.3.4.5.1-18.2.3.4.6.3 Massachusetts Comprehensive Fire Safety Code. And 2, insufficient water supply to conduct firefighting operations. Respectfully, Kevin Halpin, Lieutenant, Malden Fire Department. They also confirmed, as I said, by email that this order dated July 27, 2018 is still in effect. I'll read that into the record. And this is a memo that was sent to Hallmark Health. It reads, to whom it may concern, it has been brought to our attention that there is a considerable black mold problem inside the front lobby leading to the fire alarm panel. As you may know, the black mold can be hazardous and have toxic effects on the human body. For this reason, the Malden Fire Department members will no longer enter the building while conducting a fire detail as was done in the past. We will assume that the fire alarm panel will continue to be monitored by a central station, and our duties will only involve outside inspection of the building and perimeter. We would consider changing this policy if the black mold problem is dealt with and corrected. If you have any questions, please call the Malden Fire Prevention Office. I will also note, before we get to the recommendation, that when I was at the site yesterday, the gate that surrounds the property in the back was open. The padlock was unlocked, the gate was wide open. I was able to drive in, walk around, take pictures, have access to that whole back of the building. I did question that to the building commissioner and the fire department. The fire department told me verbally that they were aware that the gate was open only during the day to allow the property owners to move some equipment in and out, that there was a security guard on duty that was supposed to be monitoring it, who apparently wasn't there when I was there. I had a concern because I thought it was a public safety concern. It's a boarded up building, it's an abandoned property, and it was during the day, so it was during the day. I can't, I did try to look into it. It is the fire department's recommendation that that gate should be secured and locked, so there is no public access. And so I just wanted to note that if any of you, or when any of you went up to the site, I'm not sure if it was open or it was closed. It's never been open in years past that I've been up there, but it was, so that's that. Does anybody have any other questions or comments about anything?
Nope, if you can proceed.
Okay, so the planning recommendation is to disapprove both applications for the following reasons. 1, failure to comply with the following rules and regulations of the Malden Planning Board governing the subdivision of land. First, Section 5A1A, connection to a public way. The proposed street systems are not connected with the public way with suitable grades and adequate construction for the needs of vehicular traffic. 2, Section 5A1B, proposed future street system. There is no proposed future street system for the great majority of the subject property, 88%. 3, Section 5G1, adequacy of access via existing adjacent street safety. Access to the proposed subdivision and ways serving the subdivision are inadequate due to grade. 4, Section 5A1C, design of streets in the subdivision. Given the noncompliance of the plan with the rules and regulations regarding connection to public way, Section 5A1A, proposed future street system, Section 5A1B, inadequacy of access via existing adjacent streets, Section 5G1. The proposed subdivisions do not ensure vehicular and pedestrian safety. Inadequate access will not provide and adequate access, and will not provide safe vehicular travel. And then 5, Section 5A2C3, street elevations, the proposed subdivisions are not provided with adequate water service. In Section 6B4B, streets and utilities, the proposed water system is not of adequate capacity for fire protection, and there is insufficient water supply to conduct firefighting operations at the proposed subdivisions. And 2, Part 2, is given the outstanding public safety concerns and health hazards for the fire department members of the subject property. The plans are contrary to the purpose and intent of the rules and regulations of the Malden Planning Board governing the subdivision of land, namely, to ensure orderly future development of land for the safety, health, and convenience of the general public and the future occupants of the subdivided land. As I said before, your decision is not appealable. It is not binding. It is, in the sense, it's offered to provide comments and feedback on the plans. It's not binding in the sense that if they file a definitive plan, you may grant approval or you may deny approval. It's whether it's really the purpose of the preliminary plan filing is to provide feedback, presuming that they're preparing to file a definitive plan, which then would be discussed by this board and reviewed at a public hearing, and that would be a binding decision that would be appealable.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Michelle?
And you also want to take two different, even though we discussed them together, you should take, there were two separate applications, you should take two separate votes.
All right, so when we get to the point of making a motion, we'll need a motion for 100 Hospital Road and then another one for 57 Hospital Road.
Right, and that recommendation was for both.
So does anyone, Patrick Fitzgerald? Oh, sorry. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did have a question for Michelle. Procedurally, so when they file these preliminary plans in the past, the zoning freeze rights attach unless they waive them affirmatively, or are they waived by what process?
They attach at the date of filing.
Right.
Or they potentially attach. If within 7 months, they file a definitive plan and that's approved, then they formally attach and are valid for 8 years from the date
Of that
of that.
definitive plan.
Right. So they tentatively attach once they file the plan. The way to waive it is to do this formal notice of waiver and record it at the registry.
That they have to do affirmatively,
Yes,
which they did
They
with
did
the
do
August
it.
of 2018 preliminary plan.
they filed it, the application, this application, they did it. So this particular application, you have a copy of that in here, let me just get a copy of it. So they filed this notice,
It's the documents that are on the McGrail letterhead.
yeah, there's a letter, and then it's a one-page, it says notice of waiver. So they waive the
Again,
rights of the August plan.
but not this plan.
No,
Okay.
no. So the idea is if they were to come in and file a definitive plan, they want the zoning freeze for the most current version.
It has to be within
Well,
seven months.
Right, if they
Okay.
were to file it and it got approved.
And
Right.
so in filing these repetitive applications, do there need to be any changes? Because as you noted, the difference between August and now are slight changes to these Lot 4s. They could have filed the identical plan that they did in August
They
to,
Yes.
again, extend the potential.
Yes, they can file identical plans, they can file different plans, they can simultaneously file plans. They don't have the same rules as under the zoning law, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions for Michelle? No questions for Michelle. Is there a motion for 100 Hospital Road? Eric McCush. Eric's made a motion to disapprove the application for 100 Hospital Road. Is there a second? Eric Henry.
I'd like to second that motion.
Eric Henry seconds it. Okay, give me a second and I'll start to... Okay, Michelle? Go.
Ken Antonucci,
Yes.
Diane Shuha,
Yes.
Patrick Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Tawadej Gebrselassie,
Yes.
Patrick Hayes,
Yes.
Eric Henry,
Yes.
Eric McCush,
Yes.
Henry Susi,
Yes.
Chuck Iovan.
Yes.
Okay. So that was to disapprove.
Yeah. So, is there a motion for the 57 Hospital Road, Ken Antonucci?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to disapprove the application for 57 Hospital Road.
Okay, Ken's made a motion to disapprove 57 Hospital Road. Eric Henry.
I'd like to second Ken's motion.
Very good. Okay, Michelle?
So a yes vote is to disapprove. Ken Antonucci,
Yes.
Diane Shuha,
Yes.
Patrick Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Tawadej Gebrselassie,
Yes.
Patrick Hayes,
Yes.
Eric Henry,
Yes.
Eric McCush,
Yes.
Henry Susi,
Yes.
Chuck Iovan.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that completes the public meeting portion. No?
This is, we're still in the public meetings.
Okay, for the A and
The
R?
rest of it's public meeting, yeah.
Okay. My mistake. Moving on to the next agenda item in the public meeting section is approval not required subdivision plan for 57 Olive Avenue. Michelle, can you give us an update on that?
Yes. There is an application that was filed for an application for determination of planning board jurisdiction. This is regarding 57 Olive Avenue, Malden, Massachusetts, which is also known by City Assessor's Parcel ID 148-627-711. The application is to subdivide the lot to create one new lot. It has come to our attention that the subject property owes the city $4,733.35 as of today, which makes up to the second, third, and fourth quarter tax bills. In accordance with city ordinances, section 1.14 of the revised ordinances of 1991 as amended, and Mass General Laws, chapter 40, section 57, there's a mandatory denial for failure to pay taxes. So in accordance with that, you are required to deny. So that is my recommendation. Once, or if and when taxes are paid, they can certainly come back.
Very good.
The board will
Anyone have any questions?
consider action.
Is there a motion on the approval not required? Ken Antonucci.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the A&R, I guess.
The-
No, it's a mandatory denial
because they
for
owe
failure to pay
$4,700
taxes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Would you like to
that's what
revise your motion?
Yeah, that's, yes, to deny the motion for the A&R
Okay.
due to the taxes.
Ken's made a motion to deny the A and R because of the outstanding taxes. Is there a second? Eric Henry.
I can second that motion.
Very good. Eric Henry is seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye. Oh, do you want to?
That's fine.
Well, we'll do a roll call just to make sure. Okay, if you could go, Michelle?
Ken Antonucci,
Yes.
Diane Chuha,
Yes.
Patrick Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Tawana Jaber Salassi.
Yes.
Patrick Hayes,
Yes.
Eric Henry,
Yes.
Eric McCush,
Yes.
Henry Susi,
Yes.
Chuck Iowa.
Yes. So that's been denied due to outstanding taxes. Next item on the agenda is the annual report.
You should have a copy of that behind your agenda.
These were due in April. So we had to submit it. If anyone has any questions, can certainly entertain them. Does anyone have any questions on it? Is there a motion to accept the annual report? Eric McCush.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to accept the annual report.
Very good. Is there a second? Henry Susi.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye? Aye. Opposed? Very good, 9-0. Very good, okay, status update. For master plan steering, we had a meeting, and then we won't be meeting over the next couple months, largely because they're working on a few analysis. We're getting for the housing production plan, and then also the various traffic committees that have been initiated and have been meeting. They should be reporting out in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we will be meeting. When's the next one? July 22nd.
It's July. I think it's actually earlier than that. I think
The
it's the
15th, actually,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I believe it's July 15th will be our next meeting, and we're hoping at that point to have more to go on with regard to the housing production plan and the traffic studies that were being done by the various committees. So hopefully, though it's been slow the last couple of months, we're hoping to pick up once we have some data that we can start analyzing. Any questions? No. Ken, Community Preservation Committee, please.
Information meeting tomorrow night, right here, 6:30. It's going to be, it's basically our annual meeting to review the CPC, the CPA, the application process, field questions from the public, and just generally go over the program itself.
Very good. Any questions for Ken? No? Michelle, can you give us an update on the Housing Production Plan Advisory Committee?
Yes, we have not convened since, I guess, our last meeting was in January. I expect that we will be convening soon. The MAPC did produce the GLAM, which I gave you all a copy of, which is the general land area minimum calculation. The other part of the project is the housing production plan. I understand we're not moving forward with that in light of the GLAM. However, they are still doing a housing needs assessment, so I expect to be receiving more information about that in an upcoming meeting. I believe we are going to be, the committee will be presented with the assessment, and I believe the council and the city council will be formally presented with both the GLAM and the housing needs assessment sometime before summer break. So probably next month we'll have another meeting, I'm not sure, nothing's been scheduled yet, so that's it.
Thank you very much. So we're not doing the housing production plan.
I don't believe so. We are doing the housing needs assessment, though.
Yes. No, and I think that one would be quite valuable also.
Yeah, I mean, this board has recommended that since the master plan of 2010, so.
Okay, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be Wednesday, June 12th, 2019. I can't believe we're already talking about June meetings. It seems like the year just started. No, we're meeting June 12th. I said I can't believe we're already talking about June meetings this year. It seems to have flown by so far. Does anyone else have anything they want to bring up? Is there a motion to adjourn? Diane's made a motion. Is there a second? Ken seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, enjoy. Happy Memorial Day, everyone.